Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you. Good morning to all.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. Now we have already turned about the C# programs. Let us discuss about the exactly how the program works and how the program is written. Here on the screen, you can just see the basic program of our C#. The basic program of C# is written here at the right hand side. All of you, can you hear me? Yes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very nice. Here the program, a simple program is written in C#. At the right hand side, you can just see the program in the blue rectangle. You can see the written program. The first statement is using systems. So this can be done in the programming language like C#, that first we have to write using systems, semicolon. Every statement in the C# also ended with semicolon. So this is the first statement, using system. Then namespace console application 1. So this is namespace console application 1. So this is a particularly a namespace where we have written the console application. Now we know that in our C# programming, there are 3 different types of applications we can develop. Which are those applications The first application we can develop, that is the console applications. So just we have to study about the console application, and later on how we can develop the web application, as well as we can develop the Windows application. So three type of applications we can develop in C#. So this is the console application. This is a simple console application. The first statement was using system, and the second statement is namespace console application 1. See here, namespace is a basic space work area where we can develop our application, and all the system roots, built-in functions, all are actually available with namespace. We have already think about namespace. Then the left curly bracket, you can see here the left curly bracket and right curly bracket, which are very similar with our C program. Now, the next statement in the curly bracket is a class program. So this is the name of the program, is a program, and this program is written inside the class. Now see here that every program in C# will be written in class. Every program in C# is written in class. And so you can see here the class is started here. Again, the next statement is static void main string args. So what is this? The main program in C language, the main program will be written in the main function, which is a compulsory user defined function. Like this, in C# also we can write main program. So this is the main program written in C#. Now this is a static and void. We can just see every here the word written in this program. We can just see all the programming words and syntaxes here in our lecture. Now this is the main function where the string arguments are written inside the bracket, and static void in the sense it is not returning something. Let us see, the next statement is very important, which is the actual program statement. Like our depth, see here, that is console dot write line in bracket, you just see in double quotation, in double quotation, KRP Kanya, comma Islampur, double quotation complete, and the semicolon. So this is only one statement written in this program. So this is only a one statement written in this program. This program is containing a single line, which is a console write line. So mute your mics. Mute your mic. Hello. Namrata Kanse, mute yourself. Okay, thank you. Here you can say only one statement is written here, console dot write line in double quotation, KRP Kanya Islampur. So this is a very similar statement in printf of our C program. Only thing is that here the console dot write line is a syntax of C#. On the contrary, the C contains printf statement. So this is very similar with our printf statement in C. Here you can see at the left hand side the particularly how the entries will be done, and the first thing is main method, which is the entry point. So main method is a entry point. Where it is? This is a main method, right? At the right hand side, can you see this? All this main method. Main method, which is a entry point, which is also called as a startup for all C# programs. See here, every program in C# will be started with main method. Okay. It is invoked first before any other method. So we have to write the main method at the first. So at least every program will contain the main method. It is declared inside a class or structure. See here, it is a class. So we know that every C# program will be started with the class. So program is the name of this program. Main must be static. See here, very important. Main must be static because it is available to run when your program starts, and it runs without creating an instance of the class. See here, this main program is a static method. So what is this static? Because it is the program starting and it will run without creating an instance of the class. See here. Also, it can either have void or integer return type. Every static will contain void or integer return type. So both of these, maybe one of these will be written here. So void in the sense there is no returning anything. It can be declared with or without a string parameter that contains command line arguments. So this is a string parameter which is also called as a command line argument. So see, in this main method, this is an entry point or entry method where we can say that the particular program, that this program is get started here. Okay, so main method, here you can see main method, which is an entry point or it is a startup. For all of C# programs, we have to write the main method. Okay, so every time in our C# program, we have to write the main method first and then other methods we can write. So this will be declared inside any class. So that class will be always a particular class program, maybe the program name, and we have to write the main program. Okay, so main must be a static. So it should be static. It must be static because it is available to run. Your program starts and it runs without creating an instance of the class. I think you are very much familiar with class, object, and instances. In second year, you have learned every concept of class, instance, and objects. So these concepts are used here with the C# programs. So this main program is also containing the void or integer. There may be void or integer. So any of the word will be here, which is available after the static. So this will be declared without or with or without string parameter. So this is the first statement. So just see and keep in mind, this is our C# program. Very simple C# program. Now, when we write this program in our editor, everything is declared, and you have to only write the console write line in double quotation, whatever you want to give the message to the user. So that will be written here. Okay, so everything is get started and everything is automatically comes in your editor, and you have to only write the console write line or any other statements which are uh, developed in C#. Okay, the next is, in our next slide you can see how the program is described. So what are the different statements which are written from the first line to last line? We can just see how the program and the description will be done. The first statement was using system. Can you see this using system? The first line was the using system. What is that? This is using keyword is used to include the system namespace in the program. So using is a keyword. What is that? Using is a keyword and which is used to include the system namespace. This is a very important namespace, which is a root of this all namespaces. The namespace, next is a namespace. Namespace is a collection of number of classes. So any number of classes are included in the namespace. Many classes are available with the namespace. The console application 1 namespace contains the class program. Okay, so this is the written as a console application 1 namespace contains the class program. Okay, then next statement was class. Class is a keyword. Now, which are those? The using is a keyword and the class is a keyword. Class is a keyword used to define the class. So this class is a keyword used to define class. Very important that you have to write the class after using system. Okay. The next, after the class, we have written the program. So what is that? It is the class name. This class, and after that the program is the class name. A class is a blueprint or template from which objects are created. Objects are created. It can have data members and methods. Here it has only main method. So what is the program? Program is the class name. So this is also the name of your program. Every program name will be written after the class. So this is the name of the program. What is that name of the program? We have written the program. So what is that? A class is a blueprint or template from which are created. So it can have data members and methods. So what it contains? The program contains the data members and methods. Okay. Here it has only main method. Later on, we have written the static. In the next statement, static void main string args. That is, static is the first word, which is a keyword. Now, how many keywords we have seen? The using is a keyword, then class is a keyword, and then static is a keyword, which means that object is not required to access static members, so it saves memory. So static, why it is written? It is a keyword which means that object is not required to access static members. So whichever object are actually written in that program, it is not required to access the static members. So it saves our memory. So this is also very important that we have to save the memory while writing any C# program, or while writing application, we have to save the memory. Then very important thing is a main. Main runs without creating an instance of the class. So this is a very important method or important function which is written here. So it runs without creating an instance of the class. So we have not created any instance. So without creating of any instance, we can run our main program. Okay. Then next, our next description, which is continued here. After the static, we have written the void. So what is that void? Void is the return type of method. It does not return any value. So in such cases, return statement is not required. If we write the void, return statement is not required. So this, it does not return any value. What is the main? We have written it is a method name, and it is the entry point of our C# program. Okay, so very important that every time we have to give the main as a method name. So main as a method name should be there. Your C# program should contain main method, and it is the entry point of our C# program. So you can just see here, every C# program will contain the main method, and it is an entry point. As we know that in our C and C++ also, we require to write the main. Main, which is written in C, and mainstream is written in C++. The next is a string args, string, then bracket and args. This is used for command line arguments and in C, and while running the programs, we can pass the values. These values are known as arguments which is used in the program. So all these string arguments are actually command line arguments. While running the program, we can pass the values, and these values are known as the arguments, which can be used in later in the program. So string argument should be there. It is a command line arguments. Next is a system.console.writeLine. That is, here system is the namespace which is declared by using system. Console is the class defined in the system namespace, and the writeLine is the static method. WriteLine is the static method of the console class, which is used to write the text on the console. So console, what is the console? Console is a class, and WriteLine is a method, static method. See here, two words which are clubbed together with the dot. Console is a class defined in the system namespace, and WriteLine is the static method of your console class, which is used to write the text on the console. Console in the sense our monitor. Then console.readKey. We have not written here in our program, but it may contains the console.readKey. So this will make the program wait for a key press, and it prevents the screen from running and closing quickly when the program is launched from Visual Studio.net. So what is this? Console.readKey is a particular program which will be wait for your key press, any like our getch in C language. So this is very similar with getch in C. So it will prevent the screen to come out from your editor or whatever the console, and it will close quickly, and your program will get displayed. But on contrary, if you are writing the console.readKey, this will wait for your key press. So you can see your whatever the answer which is coming from your C Sharp program. So this will be launched from the Visual Studio.NET. So these all are the program descriptions. Now we just see how we compile and build the project version of .NET framework. So we have to compile and build this our program in our Visual Studio. So what we have to do for that? We have to install Visual Studio in our laptop or in our desktop. Visual Studio maybe 2010 version, and you can develop your own program. So we have to install all the required components in the Visual Studio IDE. What is this IDE? What is this IDE? IDE is Integrated Development Environment. Visual Studio IDE. IDE is Integrated Development Environment. So this Visual Studio should available with our laptop or desktop. So in your laptop, you have to install the Visual Studio, and in that Visual Studio, there we can write, or there we can see number of programming languages like C Sharp, like VB.NET, like Visual C++, like Visual Java++, Visual Java Sharp, and all many languages, but those can be run on the .NET framework. Okay, so how we can develop our program by using Visual Studio? First thing that we have to start Visual Studio. So we have to start the Visual Studio that will be available in our startup. At the left hand side of our laptop, we can see the windows, and in the windows there are number of programs on the push-up menu, and in the push-up menu we can see there the Visual Studio. The Visual Studio will be available after launching and after installing of Visual Studio IDE. Okay, we have to start the Visual Studio. Then on the menu bar, choose File, then New, and then Project. So this is the very simple method where we can start our program, that we have to choose from the menu bar. The first thing, we have to choose the file. After that, we have to choose the new option and then project option. Okay, after that we have to choose the Visual C Sharp from the templates and then choose Windows. See, there are many languages like Visual C Sharp, then Visual C++, then VB.NET, and all other languages are available there. But we have to write our program in Visual Sharp, C Sharp. So from that templates, we can just choose this Visual Sharp template, and then we have to choose the Windows. Choose the console application. Later on, you can see the many applications are available there. That three of options will be available. That first is a console application, second is a window application, and third is a web application. So we have to choose the console application. Again, next, specify the name of your project and then click OK button. At the bottom of that console application, if we write a name of your project, so you can specify the name of your project, and then we have to click OK button. So this will create a new project in the Solution Explorer. Now later on I will discuss you with the everything in the integrated development environment. So in the integrated development environment, there are many things, there are many components with the Visual Studio. One of the component is a solution explorer. One of the component is solution explorer. So there are many components like menu bar, like toolbar, like properties window, like solution explorer. Next is a class window and program window. Many things are available with IDE, that is integrated development environment. One of the component is a solution explorer. So this will create a new project in solution explorer. In the solution explorer, you can view your project name. Then you can write your code in the code editor. So solution explorer is one of the component. Code editor is also one of the component. In the Visual Studio, menu bar is one of the component, toolbar is one of the component, toolbox is one of the component, solution explorer, code editor. These all are actually the particularly the components of integrated development environment of Visual Studio. So this, you can write your code, that is source code, you can write your program in the code editor. So where we can write our C# program, that we have to write this C# program in code editor. Then click the run button or press F5 key to execute our project or our program. So our program will be always our project. Our program is always our project. So we have how to run that our C# program, that we have to press the run button or F5 key directly to execute our program or project. Next, after running of run button or after pressing of F5 key, a command prompt window will be appeared, which will display our output. So command prompt window will appear our display output. So this is a simple procedure of our project or our program, where we can run our program in Visual Studio, where we can write our C# program. We have to write our C# program in the code editor. In the code editor, we have to choose the Visual Studio. Then we see the menu bar. In that menu bar, there is a file. Then you can take new option. Then you can choose the project option. In the project option, we can just see the Visual C#. We have to write our program in Visual C#, and in that we have to choose the console application. So in that console application, we have to specify our name of our program, and we then click OK button. Then it will create the new project in Solution Explorer. You can see at the right hand side of the IDE Solution Explorer, and we can write our source code. We can write our program in the code editor. Later on, we can run that program by pressing F5 or run button from the menu bar and execute that project. The particularly a command prompt will be appeared, which will display our output of our program of Visual C#. So that is the compilation and building of our project in .NET Framework. So this is also very important thing. Now, compiling and building the other project, like using command line utility, csc.exe file is created. CSC, that is C#.exe. First, we have to open the text editor like Notepad or Notepad++. We have to write the code in the text editor and save the file void with the .cs extension. See here, every our C# program will have extension that is a .cs. So .cs will be the extension of our program. Open the developer command, prompt VS 2012 from start menu and go to the directory where you can save the file. And then we can type command csc first.cs and press enter to compile your code. If there is no errors in your code, the command prompt takes you to the next line and generates first.exe executable file. You can directly write the type first to the execute your program, and you can see the output printed on the screen. This is a normal procedure using the command line interpreter. But on the contrary, whatever in the earlier slide we have seen about the Visual Studio IDE, that we have to keep in mind. So this is very important thing. But if you see this one in the next slide, .csc.exe file, so this is not much important because we are writing our all programs in Visual Studio IDE, that is integrated development environment. So what is this particularly? We can just see here the compiling and execution process, how it will be done in .NET framework. We have to select the language compiler, particularly C#. In our earlier slide, we have selected the C# language compiler, then compiling the C# source code into IL, that is the MSIL code, is CPU independent, and converting MSIL language into native code through the JIT compiler under the control of CLR. See here the fig itself shows everything is clearly defined. Source is given here, then C# language compiler, that is CSC compiler, will be available. After all, the MSIL code will be generated, and this MSIL code, that is Microsoft Intermediate Language Code, will be given to the JIT compiler. So JIT compiler is a compiler where it takes the class library as a support of class library, base class library, and all these supports will be taken, and common language runtime, it will contain the JIT, and these MSIL code will be again JIT compiler will interpret all these code given by the MSIL, and the new machine code will be generated. So this is the compilation and execution of process of our C# program. Okay, I think, thank you to all. I think 41 participants are there, so I feel that many more participants should be on your end every time. Be many more participants, only 4 now. I think you can start your videos.